Welcome to the Realty Rundown, the podcast that cuts through the noise of the real estate world. Your hosts, seasoned industry experts Nick and Nate, are here to guide you through the entire process. Each week, they're breaking down the latest market trends, decoding complex jargon, and sharing insider secrets you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're buying your first home, selling a property, or building an investment portfolio, we provide the clear, actionable advice you need to make your next move your best move.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Realty Rundown from the Nic Wyse team at RE/MAX Results. I am Nic Wyse.
And I'm Nathan Schwartz. And today we're talking about something we've been advocating for a while now. It's the Housing for the 21st Century Act, or HR 6644.
Yeah, and me and Nate were talking about how excited we are. We're often on here talking about proposed legislation. Like, imagine if they do this. They actually did something, guys.
Yep. Woohoo. It's kind of crazy. We have to celebrate that, but
go Congress. They're doing something other than arguing amongst each other. But guys, what we've got here is a bill, and it's got strong support from the realtors, as you can imagine, nationwide, because it's bipartisan and it's backed up already on both sides of Congress. It's passed the House overwhelmingly. So this is what we want to see. We want to see overwhelming support. Gives it a much better chance to get through all channels.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start simple. What does this bill actually aim to do?
Yeah, so 21st century housing, that could mean a lot of different things, right? But what this really at its core focuses on doing is addressing that national housing shortage. So it's a way to modernize housing policy, which will then encourage local governments to remove barriers to new housing. So it is a federal law, but it's going to work right down to the local level, which we already do a tremendous job here in Indiana with our local and state legislature. So it's going to really work hand in hand with them. It's going to support zoning reforms. So supply side solutions, basically, again, zoning reform is that push to like, hey, let's get through. We need housing. We can't have it all tied up with red tape all the time. So we're incentivizing a pro-housing plan at a local level. Think about it that way. The bill is focusing on supply. That's the key right here, not subsidies.
Yeah, so we're hearing housing shortage a lot. What does that mean practically?
Yeah, so when we look at the big picture, the U.S., we are literally millions of units, houses, housing places. You know, it's not always a standalone house. It could be a condo, it could be whatever, but we're millions of these units short. In Elkhart County alone, estimated over 25,000 units short, just in Elkhart County. So we've got these continued supply constraints, which lead to higher prices, limited starter home availability. Believe me, Nate, I know you've got some people out there looking for their first home. Not easy to find. Because we've just got so much competition. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Well, you're pretty much, when it comes to, and I'm not trying to discourage first-time home buyers because we're here to help. We'll help you out. But it's very much, I mean, for your first-time home in Elkhart County, if you can come in with like a $250,000 pre-approval, that's pretty much what will get you into a starter home now. And it's, you know, it used to be, I feel like it used to be 150, then it crept up to 200, but I think right now it's like that 225 to 250 range. So it's up there. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we just listed a home in Middlebury just this week, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. With about, 1,300 square foot on both the basement and the upstairs. And that's priced at $240,000. So that's kind of where we're at these days. And that's because of these supply side issues that we've had for so long. So if we can use this legislation to get more homes built, it's going to equal healthier price growth instead of these huge price spikes that we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. So NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, but we call it NAR, they had a big call to action on this. Why so? So NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, as we call it, but we'll call it NAR, had a big call to action on this. Could you explain why?
Yeah, so it's because the realtors, we're out there, we see this inventory problem every single day. We see buyers that are locked out of the market, that have given up in some situations because they feel locked out of the market, even if they're not. And that creates seller hesitancy. They don't want to list their house because they know on the other side of things, they've got to find a new home to buy. And there's all of these community restraints that are in place right now. So this is a big call to action. Again, as an FPC, a federal political coordinator, believe me, they had me on Friday night. Actually, I was contacting Rudy Yakum and his team and saying, hey, you guys are probably out to dinner, but it's me here to bother you and annoy you. Can I just make sure that you guys are going to vote yes on this? And they got back to me, and obviously emphatic yes. We love this. This is right up Congressman Yakum's wheelhouse. He understands housing. And so, yes, it was an easy one for me. But all these 500 FPCs that hold the same title I do, they're all calling their member of Congress and their members of the Senate, and and be like, hey guys, please, we need you to make sure you vote yes on this. And it worked. We got it through. So really trying to avoid that constrained supply, because when housing becomes scarce, all this mobility that people have to move up, to move down, or just to move laterally, it all slows. And when it slows, the overall economy slows.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on to the next segment real quick. So we'll bring this home. What does this mean for Elkhart County?
Yeah, Elkhart County is unique. We are in a lot of different ways, and in large part because we're such a manufacturing base. As that manufacturing base continues to grow, and even here, in some of these slower years for the RV industry with these big swings that it's always had, we still see workforce housing pressure. Even though right now things are slow, there's still massive pressure because you get people that are earning a good income, but still they're restrained. That entry-level inventory is so tight that it keeps pushing those entry-level homes higher and higher and higher, to where they're selling for more per square footage than maybe even a luxury home is selling. So it's all a result of limited buildability, and certain areas are affected worse than others. In talking to Mayor Rod Robertson over in Elkhart, he's very frustrated because Elkhart really doesn't have a lot of space left to build. Goshen is building a new development off its south side. It's got more land. It's got more capabilities. Elkhart is really constrained into where they can build. And so they have to be getting more and more creative about changing these zoning updates, and getting to be able to build in places that they previously couldn't before. So maybe, doing some infrastructure alignment, changing regulations on the type of housing, can we put condos in an old manufacturing facility, that kind of thing. So this is going to help with that. It's going to support that workforce housing growth. And we really need to get out in front of it, because as soon as the RVs get booming again, this problem is only going to get worse if we don't have housing to put them in. So another thing I really like about this, it doesn't mandate anything. We don't like the government to necessarily tell us what you have to do, right?
Right.
So it doesn't mandate. It's just encouraging communities to modernize. I would say Elkhart County doesn't necessarily have a demand problem. We know that. It's all a supply timing problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys hear the train? Can you hear that?
I did.
Good stuff.
Honk back at
I hear
it.
it like 30 times a day. So Nick, is this just another federal housing deadline?
So here's what I feel differently about this one, because so often it's like, okay, it's just speak and there's no action about it. But this really does address the core issue of supply. And again, you can't regulate affordability. You can't just suddenly say like, oh, we're going to make homes affordable because it's free market, right? So you have to build it. You have to build houses. And that's what the Housing for 21st Century Act does. It focuses on removing those barriers so communities can actually produce housing again, which is the way that you stabilize prices in a long-term fashion.
Yeah. So how does this help someone who already owns a home?
Yeah. So again, that stability is huge. If you already own a home, you're like, great, let's all fight over my house. But you've got to do something, where's your next move?
Right.
So it creates some stability long-term. It gives you peace of mind to make those, to make everybody mobile in the housing market, because we're going to reduce that extreme volatility that we've seen. We had one year here in Middlebury where we saw home prices go up 17%. That isn't healthy. That's not good. That's not sustainable. So in that way, it also encourages smart community growth, right? So because we do need to be growing, even here in Little Middlebury, nobody wants a subdivision in their backyard, but we've got to find ways to build more housing. So we've got to have some community growth, which then in turn supports local employment and it improves resale liquidity. So really the key here is healthy supply protects homeowners better than an artificial scarcity that's been created over the last few years.
Yeah. So does this mean we're going to get $99 houses next week?
I hope so, because I'm going to buy a whole bunch of them. I'm saving up for the $99 housing bidding war. I just read about the free supermarket that's opening in New York City, so maybe we're going to get free housing here in Indiana.
Yeah, right.
But don't bet on it.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Opposed to that, I think it's more likely we're going to get a little bit less bidding wars, fewer bidding wars on our 1,200 square foot ranches that everybody wants.
Yeah, exactly. So to sum it up, this bill aims to address housing at the root level, which is supply.
Supply. Yep. If supply improves nationally, communities like Elkhart County are going to benefit locally. Yeah, that's how it works, guys. All right. That is it, guys. That's episode 56 of the Realty Rundown. We got your back. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to me or Nate, and we'll get you some answers. Until next time, Nick knows.
Nate knows.
And you get wise replies. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
And that's a wrap on another episode. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you had as much fun as we did. We love sharing real estate insights, but as you can see, we also love to have a good time. This energy and passion is what we bring to every client. Buying or selling a home is a huge deal, but it doesn't have to be stressful. With the right team, it can even be fun. Ready to make your move? Let's connect.